It was a day like any other. The sky was gray and gloomy, the average weather in the Midwest. I was laying in my bed and questioning the trajectory of my life when a really important question popped into my head. What am I doing with my life? You see, for somebody who made art my entire personality as a child, I did not draw enough anymore. Between college and work, I just never had the time or really the motivation for it. On top of all of this, I never really posted my art in the past. Well, except for TikTok. But one day, I woke up and I decided it was time for a change. And what better way to do that than with an Etsy shop? Okay, now, with the intro out of the way, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashram, and today, I'm taking you hostage with me to start up an Etsy shop. Because I'd rather do anything but my homework. Disclaimer, this is not a tutorial. I don't really have a successful shop right now. I don't know what I'm doing in the slightest. This is just me documenting my experiences. Now, to say that I'm starting completely from scratch would be a lie. So let's go back around 8 months ago. It was my very first semester of college, and this was supposed to be my kind of gap year in a way. I wanted to take some time to actually think about my values and to maybe actually try to be an artist first. Even though I had a major in mind, I low-key hated it, so I was planning to do, honestly, anything to get out of it. The very first step I wanted to take was to create an avatar, a brand, dare I say. I needed a name and a persona. And finally, one came to me in a dream. It was just a really bad spelling error. Next up was creating some kind of recognizable avatar. I dug up an OC that I did not really care for, and I decided to give her a bit of a makeover. I think this is actually really funny since now she just has a bunch of lore and everything, but that's for a later video. Now came the fun part. I had to decide what to actually sell in my art shop. Now, as an avid art and Etsy store enjoyer myself, I already knew that stickers, keychains, and fan art were mostly the things that people sell. So, I figured out a new style that I've never drawn in before, and I got to work. This was honestly the longest part of the process, and I'm still not fully done with it. Things were actually going really smoothly for a while. I had my designs, I placed the order for my stickers, and everything was going a little too well. And of course, this is when we started to face the very first roadblocks. First, my stickers got lost in another country. This ruined pretty much all my plans for a while because how am I supposed to take pictures and list an item on my shop when I don't have the item that I need to list on my shop? But thankfully this got resolved pretty quickly. So after 3 months or so, I finally had my first sticker bag. The stickers themselves came out quite a bit smaller than I originally hoped, but honestly, this was a problem for later. I was just happy that I could finally list them on my shop. Then came arguably the hardest part, marketing. I think my original plan was to just post a bunch of TikToks and hope for the best. And I mean, I did that. I certainly posted, but to say that it got me anywhere would be a lie. The TikToks themselves were not the best quality because, again, I had no idea what I was doing. But I mean, it got me a few orders. I got like 1 or 2 or 3, and the first one was a scam. But it's okay, we got over that. Like, I was working on it, trust me, guys. Things were once again going quite good until Canon event number 2 happened. I woke up one day to an email from a pretty big company saying that they removed my designs for copyright? This was honestly my wake-up call to realize that fan art is technically illegal. But like, I feel like most artists don't really think about that because of how big of a factor fan art plays in the art community, you know? But it is illegal at the end of the day. This is honestly a good debate for a different video, but I think the moral of the story is that I was absolutely devastated, but I did what any normal person would do and I made a listing about it, and it actually did really good. And this kind of pushed me to keep going because, I mean, it got really popular. I ended up relisting the listing, and then I just kind of let the art shop marinate on the side for a few days. And it was going great, you know, I got a few orders from time to time, and now we're back to present day. I decided that the art shop needed a bit of an upgrade, and the first place I started was the business card. This is the old one, take a good look at it, it won't last for long. Wow. This is me making the new one, so much better, my art improved so much. Kind of, not really. On top of just redesigning the design of the card, I wanted to include a QR code and other things that made it easier to find me. because, you know, I went to a couple conventions in the meantime, and I realized that it's just way more convenient when you have a QR code and stuff like that. And then I also wanted to include more freebie stickers and a double-sided thank you card with a design on the back. I saw another artist who I really like on Etsy do this, and that was a genius idea. So here's a video of me designing something. Okay, I didn't actually design it. This was just art that I drew one day, but like it looks really cool. And like you guys would get it for free if you ordered off my shop, you know? I hate plugging myself, yo. Why would I think this is a good idea? Anyways, the next goal was to renew some of my listings. I got rid of all of my fan art because that just wasn't selling. And I was supposed to make more sticker designs. But you see, they're kind of not done. For this video and for the rebrand, I was supposed to make like Demon Slayer inspired stickers and maybe Bungo Stray Dogs. But I kind of never actually did that. And I'm really, really lazy. Like, I still want to make Bungo Stray Dogs inspired stickers, but it's so much work, dude. Like, it would be so cool. But I'm so tired. Honestly, chat, I think I might just end the video here because I really don't want to work on this stuff. To be fair, I did make a few more designs. I made a few toilet-bound Hanako-kun inspired designs, but I don't want to do any more. So, yeah. If you've made it to this point, I'm honestly incredibly surprised because this video was really, really boring in my eyes, but I feel like I had to make it for myself since it was supposed to be my first ever YouTube video, and then I didn't do that. I promise my future videos will be a bit better quality. At least I'll try. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you feel like it. You don't have to. Please don't. I don't want people seeing how much cringe I put out. Oh my god.